while others, looking towards a point where their men were being defeated, cried out aloud in lamentation, and were more broken in spirit by the sight of what was being done than were the men actually engaged in the fighting. Others were looking at some part of the battle where there was nothing to choose between the two sides. And as the fight went on, and on, and on, with no decision reached, their bodies swaying this way and that showed the trepidation with which their minds were filled. And wretched indeed was their state, constantly on the verge of safety, constantly on the brink of destruction. So while the result of battle was still in doubt, one could hear sounds of all kinds coming at the same time from this one Athenian army. Lamentations and cheering, cries of "we are winning," cries of "we are losing," and all the other different exclamations bound to be made by a great army in its great danger. We did not gain this empire by force. It came to us at a time when you were unwilling to fight on to the end against the Persians. At this time, our allies came to us of their own accord and begged us to lead them. It was the actual course of events which first compelled us to increase our power to its present extent. Fear of Persia was our chief motive, though afterwards we thought too of our own honor and our own interest. Finally, there came a time when we were surrounded by enemies, when we had already crushed some revolts, when you had lost the friendly feelings that you used to have for us, and had turned against us and begun to arouse our suspicion. At this point, it was clearly no longer safe for us to this ordinary life, especially as any allies of Actus were growing into war, and when tremendous dangers were involved, no one can be blamed for looking to his own interests. We had done nothing extraordinary, nothing contrary to human nature, except to make it our laws of forgiveness, and refusal. Three very powerful motives prevent us from doing so. Cruelty and self-interest. We were not the first to act in this way. It has always been that should be subject to the strong. And besides, if we consider that we are worthy, think too of the great power that is within the unpredictable the more things tend to depend on accidents. When people are entering upon a world, they confuse the other way around. Action comes first. Do not break the peace. Do not break the peace. Instead, let us separate the forces of attrition, which must if you will not pursue action, as our witnesses the gods who Athenians spoke as I have Athens was already acting aggressively, and that war should be declared without delay. However, the Spartan king, Archidamus, a man who had a reputation for both intelligence and moderation, came forward and made the following speech. Spartans, in the course of my life I have taken part in many wars, and I see among you people of the same age as I am. They and I have had experience, and so are not likely to share in what may be a general enthusiasm for war. And you will find, if you look carefully into the matter, that this present war which you are now discussing is not likely to be anything on a small scale. With us, we should be engaged with people who live far off, people also who have the widest experience of the sea and who are extremely well equipped in all other directions, very wealthy both as individuals and as a state, with ships, cavalry, and hoplites, with a population bigger than that of any other place in Hellas, and then too with numbers of allies who contribute. How then can we irresponsibly start a war against such a It is inferior to us. And if we are to give proper attention to it and build it up to their strength, that will take time. Or are we relying on our wealth? Here, we are at an even greater disadvantage. We have no public funds, and it is no easy matter to secure contributions from private sources. Perhaps there is ground for confidence in the superiority which we have in heavy infantry and in actual numbers, assets which will enable us to invade and devastate their lands. Athens, however, controls plenty of land outside Attica and can import what she wants by sea. If we try to make our allies revolt from her, we should have to support them with a fleet, since most of them are on the warpath. What sort of war then will we go if we can neither defeat them at sea, nor take away from them the resources on which they are, we shall do ourselves more harm than good. Let no one call it cowardice if we, in all our numbers, hesitate before attacking the single city. We have just as many allies as we have in our allies' country. And war is not so much a matter of convenience as a command which makes a man's fight, particularly as this true in the sea. Practical measures that we take are always based on the assumption that our enemies are not unintelligent. There is no need to suppose that human beings differ very much from one another. Let us not be hurried, and in one short day's space come to a decision which will so profoundly affect the lives of men and their fortunes, the fates of cities and their national honor. As for the Athenians, I advise sending a mission to them about Peloponnesian and also about the other cases which our allies claim to have been captured. Especially is this the right thing to do, since the Athenians themselves are prepared to submit to arbitration. And when one party offers this, it is quite illegal to attack them first, as though it is government. At the same time carry on their preparations for war. Now, after the speech of Archidamus, Sthenelaidius,